It's starting next week. I'll be sharing with you face-to-face investment tips, market outlook for 2024. I have a surprising Black Swan event to share with you that could happen. And last but not least, I'll also be doing a lot of Q&A to help you in your financial journey. Look for links below and purchase your tickets today. I'd like to start with a story from Project Scope community, and it reads, Mr. So is 66 years old. For many years, he sold chicken rice in a hawker center, but he retired when he could no longer withstand the back-breaking work. His wife passed away a few years ago due to an accident. Nowadays, he lives all alone in his flat. His 2 children and their families visit him occasionally. Mr. So has a simple life. He visits his friends for breakfast, and sometimes he wanders around the neighborhood and sits on a park bench watching the world go by. He looks fit. There are times he will feel some pressure on his chest, some pain on his knees, and has difficulty breathing. But he dismisses all this as part of aging. He doesn't go for health screenings and thinks he cannot bother his children on these little ailments. Mr. So is typical among increasing number of older persons in Singapore. They continue to be unaware of the effects that their inactive lifestyle and unhealthy choices have on their bodies. More and more are aging with higher risk of having chronic diseases and depression. There is a reason why I chose to start with this story, because it touches on many things that we are unaware of when we get to retirement. So if you are a retiree already, listening to this, hopefully it gives you more awareness. And if you are preparing for retirement, then maybe listening to today's 7 key points will help you prepare a little bit better. And the first key point that you may not know of is that most of the time a person retires because of poor health, or that the spouse has retired before the planned retirement age. Mr. So is a typical story of someone who has retired due to poor health. And sometimes you imagine that you'll continue work until 60, but bad health can strike at an unexpected age. And that's why when I do retirement planning for private clients, it's usually an exercise to start being prudent and start preparing for the eventuality. The exact number that we prepare for sometimes is just a mental exercise. Think about how you look like in your retirement, because that leads to point number 2. When you get to retirement, there will be a lot of retirees around you. We all know that Singapore is an aging population, but you may not know of the exact data. That's why I'd like to put up some charts to warn you ahead of time. Back in year 2000, for every 1 senior, there were 9 working adults. Right now, the figure is closer to 5 working adults for every senior. Take a guess what it will be in year 2030. That projected number, for every senior above age 65, there will be only 2.7 working adults. That is because 1 in every 4 Singaporeans in year 2030 will be age 65 and above. That is a scary statistic, and if everybody is a retiree, I don't know who's going to pay taxes. That's why don't be surprised to see in the next 10-20 years that taxes in Singapore have to go up to balance the books. Maybe there's a natural trade-off for any aging society, which leads to point number 3. Semi-retirement is going to be more common than ever. Right now, there are articles that suggest that working to age 75 may actually make for a more rewarding life. Maybe it's propaganda to get each and everyone to think about working beyond the age of 65. And there are actually data points that I'd like to show you in today's discussion. This is actually sourced from Labour Force, and what we can see is that for the age group 65 and above, right now there are 31% that are employed, significantly higher than back 10-15 years ago, correct? Not that all these seniors are employed full-time. My guess is they all have certain part-time job, because there's now workfare bonus and so many different kinds of incentives that government pays to keep seniors active in the workforce in some form or other. That is why if you are a young working adult, this concept could extrapolate even further, which means thinking about semi-retirement should be a natural concept when we have this discussion in future. No one is going to be sitting by the beach fully retired. The incentive will be very strong for you to have some work activity or other. And that work activity could be even up to the age of 75 and beyond. If you've heard of something useful already, help me smash the like button, because it's taken our team hours to prepare this presentation for you and do all the research and read all the boring government articles to present to you insightful data in a very easy to digest format. So if you have smashed the like button already, now it's time to review to you. Point number 4 that you may not know of is that retirement can actually be stressful. Work is stressful, correct? Going to retirement, also stressful. It's not even a new finding already. It's just that if you're like me, a younger working adult, you always think of retirement as going to the beach and traveling all day long. But retirement is known to be a stressful event that has negative consequences on mental health due to changes in established routines, loss of work-related roles and activities, and the reduced income levels. Just now, we mentioned about loss of work-related roles. That is also why semi-retirement might be the dominant concept in the next 10-15 years as Singapore ages as a society. The reason why retirement is stressful, maybe you have seen it from your older siblings, uncles, aunties, or parents, is that when we have work, we have an identity. And losing that identity means we need to find a new identity. Not every elderly has that privilege and fortune to be a grandparent and be active in some form or another. There are many, like Mr. So, who's idling in coffee shops and sitting by the beach, and really needing a reorientation of that sense of identity. In that story, Mr. So sorely lacks the development of new passions, and that's preventing him from having a healthy mind and healthy body, which leads to point number 5. Healthy aging is very important and you need to take note of that. And one simple tip on healthy aging can actually be found in this report by NCSS, the quality of life of seniors. I told you I read a lot of very boring government related articles on retirement to share a few nuggets of wisdom. And it's actually this finding. Sports and recreational activities are very effective preventive measures against the weakening of mind and weakening of body. In this finding, it has mentioned specifically that the group least likely to participate in any sports are females with chronic diseases that are living in 1 to 3 room flats. Take note again, if you happen to fit this profile, be very aware. You need to take double the effort to get involved in sports, one way or the other, to keep healthy. Sports helps you keep your body active and also your mind active, which leads to point number 6. There is a big risk that each and everyone listening today would have dementia. The data now shows that 1 in every 10 above the age of 60 has dementia. Above the age of 85, 1 in every 2. The number of persons with dementia is expected to double to 103,000 by year 2030. It goes to show it's not that rare after all. It's not that rare until Ministry of Health has even a 5-pillar approach to manage dementia. It's serious stuff. There's even a dementiahub.sg, which I haven't had time to go and see. If you're more familiar than me, leave in the comment sections what they are. But I can clearly conclude that dementia is a very big risk for each and everyone. Which leads to a financial point also. When we all get to older age, we need to clear away all the loans that we have. Even if we don't have dementia, our mental capacity is definitely going to drop. And when you have loans and a lot of financial stuff to balance, it is a big headache. And once you start missing payments and start making mistakes, you're going to put yourself into more stress. Loans are today's modern day of slavery. If you have taken investment loans because you have been advised in the wrong manner, look to clear them down urgently before you get to retirement. If you have taken mortgage, look to pay them off latest by the age of 65. Yes, it is true that you can do refinancing until 75, but as I've shown the data, there are so many of us that will get to a stage of dementia. As always, if you like financial advice on what to do with your entire retirement portfolio that may have loans, look for links below on how to reach me on a one-to-one basis for full fee-based retirement planning. So let's round out the points. What are retirement worries? Just like the story of Mr. So, he became unhealthy and is actually not too aware of it. He lacks a sense of purpose. He feels lonely. He's bored. He's sitting at a coffee shop. And last but not least, there's a 5th point, which is finances. We're not too sure whether as a self-employed chicken rice hawker all his life, he has prepared adequately in his finances. That leads to point number 7. There are many ways to prepare for retirement income in your retirement years. If you are like me, like Mr. So, who is self-employed, take note again, you need to tap a lot on CPF because this finding has shown that CPF is quite the most depended upon by most Singaporeans in Singapore. There are other asset classes that you need to build up. Your fixed deposits, your investments, if you have enough to buy real estate for rental income, and last but not least, annuity plans. From this table, it seems that annuity plans are not tapped well enough. And to describe a bit on what annuity plans deliver to you, is that CPF Life only pays from the age of 65, correct? If you need retirement income before the age of 65, for example 55 to 65, an annuity plan can be customized to provide you cash flow that is dependable and also fast free. There's no need to manage tenants, there's no need to track stock prices. Annuity plan just provides you another layer of low risk cash flow to cover at least your core expenses. As a last call, look for links below and purchase your tickets today. Hopefully I've raised valid points for you to consider. As always, smash a like if you haven't done so, and check out these previous videos I have on retirement. 8 reasons to be a happy retiree. Check that out, it's a very well received video and I think it can help you further in your journey. If that's all from here, and see you in the future episode, take care as always, goodbye.